Yo, what's up, everybody? We out here, we live. Welcome back to Chimera Games, everyone. How's everyone doing tonight, huh? Just gonna adjust the volume on the music here a little bit. Just me microphone. Microphone's in a new spot tonight, so I gotta be kind of wary of where it is so I don't bump into it. Isabel says pretty okay. That's good. I'm glad you're doing pretty all right, babe. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. Yeah. Tonight's just gonna be a bit more of the usual stuff, you know. We're just gonna keep working on Yield Castigator, chat about a few things. I feel like a lot happened this week, for me personally, and just kind of in the world too. Like, this week felt particularly, I guess you can say, like, active. I'll start off with some updates about me. So you might notice that the webcam, my face cam, is at a slightly different angle. Hey, what up, Ultra Lord? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Yeah, the camera, the face cam's at a slightly different angle than it usually is today. And that's for a very good reason. And that is because we finally got that second monitor installed, which I am very, very, very excited about. It is currently sitting to my side over here. So now we are really doing the whole pro streamer thing, you know. I'm actually really excited to have this second monitor up and running now. I feel like this is going to make my life so much easier, which will in turn help me to make stream even better for you guys, which is one of the main things that I care about, of course. Care about making this stream as cool and fun and high quality for you all as I possibly can do, and can afford to do too, while we're at it, right? So yeah, speaking of, I know I mentioned this like ages ago, right? But now that we do have the second monitor, that means we'll be able to play some games on stream together. And you might have noticed, actually, that reminds me, I need to actually change that, because Stream Elements itself is not updating this right now, because Stream Elements is horrid like that sometimes. But you might notice, if you looked at the channel recently, that actually we've gotten a pretty neato bump in subscribers recently, which I am very excited about. Speaking of new subscribers, I just want to give a quick shout out to SpaceX Fan 37, Corvus Seraph, and Forever Soccer 32. If the three of you happen to be out there in the wild blue yonder watching this live stream tonight, welcome. Thank you for subscribing to Chimera Games. I don't get notified with every new subscriber, unfortunately, because of the way that YouTube works. Basically, if your subscriptions list is set to private, then YouTube will not notify Stream Elements that you have subscribed to my channel. Therefore, I will not see you pop up on the on my OBS, basically, so I can't really shout you out. I wish I could, but in case I didn't say your name and you're a recent subscriber or a brand new subscriber to the channel, welcome, friends. Thank you very much for subscribing to youtube.com/Chimera Games. I really appreciate y'all being here. I really appreciate your support for the channel. I was just saying that I'm going to actually log in and update the subscriber goal, because we're actually at 79 subscribers. We are 79% of the way to our very first subscriber goal, which is 100 subscribers, which leads into what I was saying before about the games, because if you remember from one of my more recent Instagram posts, I said that once I hit 100 subscribers, I would play a game with you all on stream to celebrate. What game that is going to be, well, you will find out soon enough, and so shall I. To be honest, I haven't fully decided yet, but that's okay. That means it's going to be a surprise for all of us once I finally do. And once we hit 100 subscribers, basically what I'll do is this: if we hit 100 subscribers like before a given stream, then basically the stream after that will be the one where we'll, in this case, play the game. So that'll be very exciting. Isabel says, let's go. Gamer era. Yeah, exactly. Entering my gamer era. I feel like I've been stuck in my gamer era for well over a decade at this point. But now we're going to make it a thing. Going to make it a bit more of a thing for ourselves here, I guess you can say. So yeah, that's a very exciting development for us over here at Chimeric Games. Speaking of, if you're new here, once again, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. If you are subscribed, don't forget to also hit the notification bell so that way you know exactly when I go live or whenever I upload anything, including videos, shorts, etc. We go live now every Friday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If you paid attention to the thumbnail for this live stream, you'll notice that it says new time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and that is exactly when we'll be streaming every Friday night from now until the end of time, barring things such as vacations, mental health breaks, and things like that, because I do work full-time for a living after all, y'all. But maybe one day that'll change. We'll see, I guess. What else? All my social media links are down in the description below in this live stream, so if you want to go check out my Instagram, Twitter, my TikTok, all of that can be found down in the description below. Please do. We have a lot of fun on those, especially over on TikTok. It's been kind of a hoot and a half making TikToks on that platform. I used to be kind of a staunch TikTok detractor, but now I get it. I can say with confidence that low-key I get it now. So, you know, we're big chilling. We're being chilling over here. So, do I have any other updates for you guys? Not particularly. Oh my god. I do have another like sort of personal life update. So personal life, but also related to Warhammer 2. So last night I actually went to my first Warhammer meetup in a really long time. I think the last time I went to a Warhammer meetup was like late March. So it's been a minute. I'm just gonna take a sip of water real quick. And that was really fun. Basically a new game store opened up in the area, and my group decided that we would actually do a weekly meetup at this new location instead of a once monthly meetup, which is what we're sort of used to doing. So that was really fun. It was really great to just be back in that space and just hang out with, you know, all the dudes that I know, and just, you know, catch up, you know, watch some really cool games. I didn't get a game in. That's because they have a limited amount of space allocated for us at this new game store to play Warhammer and everything, because they still have to tend to their regular customers too, who are like far more normal and play more normal games like Settlers of Catan, for example, right? So basically there were a bunch of people in the group who had made their matches beforehand, and so you know our sort of general rule, it's not like a written rule, but our sort of like rule of thumb is that, you know, those who arrange their games first get first dibs on the table, and also like those who arrive first kind of get first dibs on the table, you know. So I did not get a game in because I did not manage to successfully secure an opponent. He had to work late, unfortunately, so I just sat back and sort of watched some games. Basically like we had one yes, Ultra Lord, 40k is normal. It is normal. It's they're varying degrees of normalcy that I'm referring to here. JK, I got you, bro. I got you. But yeah, I think last night we had 3 40k games going at the same time. We had like a few Kill Team games going, and then we had one Necromunda game happening in the corner, which was pretty fun to watch too. But my main focus, I was watching one of the more well-seasoned Sisters players in my group play his sisters against Admech, 2,000 points. I think they were playing the supply drop mission from the Leviathan mission deck. For those of you who don't know, in the 10th edition of Warhammer 40k, the way missions work now is instead of like looking through the book and finding missions to play based on a dice roll, you now actually draw cards to basically build the aspects of the mission. So you draw for what the primary mission is, you draw for your secondary objectives, you draw for how you're going to deploy, you draw for any additional mission rules that apply. For example, they got the Vox static rule to apply, which basically makes the one core stratagem that lets you re-roll anything for 1 command point cost 2 command points instead. So that was a pretty interesting way to spice things up, especially because now in 10th edition you only start off with one command point at the start, and then you generate more as you go through the game. Again, for those of you who don't know, command points are sort of a strategic resource that you use in order to use special abilities called stratagems, which gives momentary buffs to your army when they're needed the most, basically. Or when you want to be a really big dingus and just spam I don't know, like Holy Rage or something like that, whatever it was in 9th edition that Bloody Rose Sisters really used to tear into their opponents with the melee. I did not play Bloody Rose Sisters. I was not a Bloody Rose Sisters enjoyer in 9th edition. I was Team Ebon Chouse and also Team Argent Shroud too, but I digress. Point is, that was just a really interesting thing to watch. I did bring my models with me, so I did go ahead and build a list for the night, which is sort of what I want to talk about, actually, I guess, since I didn't get an actual game in, because actually I feel like there's actually quite a bit to talk about. So me and my opponent, before he had to cancel, we were originally planning on playing a 1,000 point, chapter approved Leviathan game. So, we were going to use the mission deck and everything. And, as I was sitting down to build my list, first of all, my list was kind of a rush job, because I got to yesterday and I was like, oh shit, I haven't built a list yet, because here I am thinking like, oh, I can just use the same 1,000 point list that I used like a few months ago. I'm like, oh, Christian, you're so silly. We're in a new edition of Warhammer now, my guy. Come on now, get to list building, chop chop. And you know what? That's the first thing I will say about list building in 10th edition is that, in my opinion, at least it felt to me that list building is much, much faster now than it was in 9th edition, because the cost of everything is incorporated into the points cost you see in the Munitorum Field Manual, which is like the document that lists all the points values for all the different units and all the different armies. So like, for example, a standard Battle Sisters squad, for example, costs 110 points out of your, in this case, 1,000, right? And that accounts for, the idea is basically that all their war gear costs are accounted for in that, which means war gear is basically free. And so, and the only downside is, though, that the Battle Sister squad size is locked to 10, which I will talk about that in a little bit too, but I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. So it was really easy to just sort of pick and choose the units that I wanted to play with and just sort of plug them into my list total. Where it got complicated was when I went over and when I had to figure out sort of what to cut. This is the one thing I didn't like, was that like when I had to figure out what to cut, because now all the war gear is free and you can't just subtract 5 points or 10 points here and there in order to bring your list down from like being over 5 or over 10 points past your limit. Now you have to cut entire units at once when you go over your point if by mistake, which is something that can feels bad, man, in some moments. And it's interesting, and I wonder if like that was on purpose. Ultralord asks, you can't run Sisters in 5s? No, but with an asterisk. So sister squads are only locked to 10 by default, but if you have the immolator, the flamethrower tank with the stained glass window, it does have the the assault squad ability that lets you or the combat, whatever it's called, combat squad, assault squad, that lets you split a unit into 2. So you could take an immolator and split it, a 10-woman unit into 5 and 5, but you can't build them as 5 anymore. They are locked to 10, and then you also can't build them up to 20 either. Which for me personally was fine, because toward the end of 9th, my personal strategy was gravitating toward 10-woman squads anyway. But I do, at first I didn't get it, but now I do get why people are complaining about the lack of flexibility with this new point system. I think ultimately I will be fine with having 10-woman squads, because again, that's what I was kind of thinking about doing anyway. But yeah, no, the whole thing about like having to cut entire units at once in order to like bring your points back down over your minimum if you ever go over, is kind of the general thing that kind of like not rubbed me the wrong way, but I didn't quite like that. And I suspect the reason why they did this is to basically restrict the usage of certain units at lower point values, or at whatever point value you're playing at, without, you know, significantly compromising the rest of your army comp, right? To sort of, I guess, keep everything under control. So, like, for example, right, say if I, like, you know, what's a good example? What did I have to do? Let me think. Oh, here's a good example. Sisters love their characters, right? When I was building my list, I ended up, initially, I went up over 1,000 points to 1,010 points, right? And I was like, crap, okay, so what do I have to remove in order to get over that, get back under that? And I realized, like, oh, shoot, I can't just knock off those 10 points because all the war gear is free now, which means I have to remove an entire unit. Oh, and my original plan was to bring both a full squad of Repentia, which in the 10th edition now includes the Repentia Superior. It no longer runs by itself. I was going to bring a Repentia Superior squad, and I was going to bring a Celestian Sacrosanct squad. And I had 2 squads of Battle Sisters for my battle line too. And I didn't want to cut any of those because I wanted to have 2 sort of objective grabber squads so that I could benefit from the new buff that Battle Sisters got, which allows them to generate miracle dice when they control an objective, which is, mwah, I adore that so much. It's part of the reason why I'm not fully mad about, like, the sisters being locked to 10. What was I saying? So yeah, I had to cut the Celestian Sacrosanct squad, which, you know, is like, I think it's 65 points for 5 women squad of Celestian Sacrosancts, just to get back underneath the 1,000. Even though I was only 10 points over, I had to cut 65 points worth, right? Eventually I ended up just sort of reworking my whole list to sort of focus on shooting. So my list ultimately, if I remember off the top of my head, my list ultimately was, it was 2 squads of Battle Sisters for 220 points. My characters were a Canoness, a Hospitaller, and a Dogmata. I grabbed the Dogmata because it gives an extra point of objective control to whichever unit she's attached to. So that would give a Battle Sister squad objective control 3 per model instead of 2 per model. Ultralord says, I think I'd rather still have the ability to take units of 5. I would too, especially because there are different powerhouse units. I was going to say this too, but I'll say this now. There are different powerhouse units in the Sisters of Battle, like, index that I would rather take in return for those points if I could just take a 5-woman squad of sisters. But, you know, we'll play around with it and we'll see how it goes, you know. What was I talking about before? Oh yeah, my army comp. So my army comp was 2 squads of Battle Sisters for 220 points. I had a Dogmata, a Canoness, and a Hospitaller. I took a squad of Repentia, so I took a Rhino to, you know, help them get to where they needed to go. I took a Seraphim squad, and I actually brought the Castigator that we're working on. Even though it's a work in progress, I brought it with me in case I got to take it out for a bit of a test drive. And it costs 150 points by itself. And then basically, so from there, the last thing I had to decide was, originally I was going to take a squad of Retributors. Oh, I'll go ahead and mention the enhancements now, actually. So then I took the Mantle of Ophelia and the Litanies of Faith for 20 and 25 points respectively. And then finally, it came down to the Retributors. So originally I took a 5-woman squad of Multi-Melter Retributors, you know, pretty standard or fair for a Sisters player, right? And then I was sitting there looking at my list, and at that point I was at 995 points. So I was like, interesting. I wonder if there's a way I could get my my point values to, you know, add up to 1,000 even, right? And then I realized something. So the Multi-Meltas for Sisters, and I guess Multi-Meltas in general, got a pretty big nerf in 9th edition. Oh, not sorry, from 9th edition into 10th edition, which is that their range got cut. Range for Multi-Meltas used to be, I think, 24 inches or something like that. It is now 18 inches, though, which is pretty short range, actually. And what I realized as I was looking through my different index cards and trying to decide which units I'd take, I saw that Morven Vol, who is 135 points, she's only 5 points more than the Retributor squad, which is 130. And then I started thinking, I was like, this is interesting. I never thought that I'd have to choose between a Retributor squad or Morven Vol. Like, the fact that those two are even brought to, like, the same level of consideration, I thought was so interesting to me. And here's the reason why, right? Morven Vol, her rocket launcher, the one of the rocket launcher profiles for her has the same strength, has the same damage, strength 9, d6 damage, it has lower armor penetration at AP-2 as opposed to AP-4 than a Multi-Melta, but it also has 36 inches, which is double the Multi-Melta range. And it gets 2 shots, so same number of shots as it would be per multi-melta, right? And so I started thinking, I was like, I could get the same strength, better range, same damage, less AP, but also I'd get a unit that's tougher, has more wounds, and has a better save value, all for just 5 extra points. And so what I decided to do kind of at the last minute, like 10 minutes before I left, was I decided to swap out the Retributor squad for Morven Vol, and that brought me up to 1,000 points even. How effective this list is going to end up being, I have no freaking idea. But I guess we'll find out eventually when I get my game in. I think I'm going to go to the store this Tuesday. My group, I lied before by mistake. My group actually does a twice weekly meetup at this game store now on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I'm going to try and get a game in this Tuesday. And next stream, next week, I will report back and I'll let y'all know how it goes. Maybe I'll make something on social media about it too. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, those are just my initial thoughts on those are my initial thoughts on 10th edition so far. I think that just about will do us for now. Let's go ahead and get to painting, y'all. Let's get back to our lovely Castigator. By the way, I am now accepting name suggestions for this Castigator. So y'all shout out with those if you got them. And also, as always, my lovely friends, let me know how your day's been going. Let me know how you're doing, how life's been going for you in general. Y'all know me. Love to hear about how y'all are doing. Whew. I'm also going to dab the sweat off. It is, y'all, it is hot as hell here in the city. It is terrible. It is honestly so terrible. I have some fans running in the background, so sorry if you can hear some extra noise tonight. But still miserable. It is still miserable in here. But it's actually less miserable than it has been in previous days. So I have that to be grateful for. Excuse me, I have that to be grateful for at least. She's looking so good. Oh, thanks, babe. I appreciate that. Okay, so what are we going to do tonight? So the first thing I want to do is I want to take one more pass at our sort of turquoise underbellies before we go any further here with our next step, which I am personally very excited for. And we're going to do this real quick, and then from there, did I figure out your AC fan? Yes, I did. It is now much colder. I also changed the rotation on my ceiling fan too. So there's that, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. But yeah, so what I want to do is I want to add one more lighter layer of like a light turquoise area on top of all the turquoise we got laid down right now, just to give it a little bit more brightness before we move into the next step. So I'm going to mix up some turquoise and some white here. Probably maybe we'll do like 3 drops turquoise, 1 drop of white, because this white tends to pull pretty strongly. And we'll go from there, basically. All right, there we go. 1 drop of white. Today I found out that my boss in lab hasn't bought new electro gel for a decade. Bro, what? Are you serious? Dude, that's crazy. Cause like y'all's whole thing is like being able to like place electrodes on like bodies and shit and like, you know, be able to scan. Wait, what the hell? How does a biomedical engineer let himself use electrogel that's a decade expired? That's crazy, dude. I'm sure that does not help y'all at all with any of your work. So I've been putting you've been putting crusty gel. I hate this stupid heart emoji that's in the way of the chat here at the bottom. Can I get rid of this? I cannot. YouTube fix your platform challenge, difficulty level impossible. But so I've been putting crusty gel in people's hair when running experience, dude. I'm so sorry, dog. Oh my god. Yep, I don't know how it even got to this point. God damn. I mean, I'm sure y'all got the funding to like not have that be the case, right? Like, please tell me y'all do. Might add a little bit more white. Hey, Godzillanid, welcome in, fam. Welcome in. How you doing? How you doing? You have not missed much. We literally just started painting here, man. We just started painting. So you have not missed very much at all. Alright, so let's see here. I want to make sure camera looks good. Camera looks great. Alright, so we're just going to add a little bit of smudging right here. I think y'all can see what we're going for if you look like right here and right here. Yeah, this is basically what we're going for right here. This is, yeah, this is good. This is very good. Gonna get some in on the side here too. This is the brush that I cut this brush in, like the brush bristles in half on this brush like ages ago. Actually, I'm gonna pop off the top here, pop off the turret, make this a little easier to handle. Now I use this as like my primary sort of stippling brush. It's very useful for such activities. There we go. I like the nice little subtle lift that has to it now. Nice. And yeah, we totally have the funding to buy new gel and equipment. My boss is just cheap as hell, bro. That sucks. GodzillaNet says, started to paint Leviathan. Going pretty well. Hell yeah, dude. What are you starting with in the Leviathan box? Gonna add some of that over here too. Yeah, that's gonna make that really pop. I really like that. Gonna try and make my stippling a little bit more on point so it looks a little bit less like brush strokes. There we go. Oh yeah, while I'm doing this, so yeah, pro tip, y'all, pro tip. Life pro tip here. In the summers, if you happen to have a ceiling fan in your humble abode, do not forget to find the switch located at the base of the of where the ceiling fan's blades are, and flip that switch if your fans are spinning in a clockwise direction, because in the summers you want your fans to spin in a counterclockwise direction. That way they blow cold air all over the room as opposed to hot air. I learned this very recently, and it has been a very life-changing experience having done that. Ultralord says, I'm very ready to move to my own lab, or to a new lab. Oh nice. When are y'all going to be moving to a new lab? Godzilla says, I'm doing the Neuro Tyrant and the Barb Gaunts. Nice. Personally, I think out of the models in Leviathan, I think the Neuro Tyrant is my favorite. When I first started thinking about getting the box so I could paint it, the thought of painting the Neuro Tyrant was the one that kind of got me the most excited. Let's see here. All right, cool. That looks pretty good. All right, I'm satisfied with that. Again, it doesn't have to be much, just subtle enough. I'm gonna brush this off. This paint isn't too terribly wet. I didn't put that much water into it. So this paint layer should dry pretty soon, I reckon. So we'll be able to move on to our next step here pretty shortly. Let me clean that off a little bit more. And you know, it's interesting actually. So I know I mentioned before that, you know, we're kind of going for an oxidized copper or like verdigris effect. And I know y'all suggested that I pick up some of like the verdigris technical paint that Games Workshop themselves actually make. Problem is, I could not find it anywhere. I don't know if it's like not in production anymore or what, but like I straight up could not find that joint like anywhere over the last week. I'm sure I could have found it online, but you know, I like to shop local when I can. So, but I don't know, maybe I'll keep looking, maybe I'll find it one day. And honestly, I don't think we'll end up actually needing it that badly, but it would be very useful for future projects though. Would be very useful for future projects. Ultralord says, I'm going to be in a new lab at the end of August at a different school, but for personal reasons, I'll still need to finish up some work at the old lab to finish the old masters. Ah, good shit, bro, good shit. Is that the new, at the different school, is that going to be like the start of your PhD program or what? And the Neurotyrant does look dope. Yes, I fully agree. I fully agree. Oh my god. Speaking of future projects, I totally forgot to announce the results of our poll. So, let me go in and look. Thank you to the 6 people who voted for the poll. That's honestly more of a participation rate than I anticipated. So, by a vote of 4-2, the winner of the poll is the Death Guard. The bubblegum flavored Death Guard will be the next project we work on once we finish painting all of our sisters. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And then we'll still do the Tyranids at some point in the future. But they'll just have to come after the Death Guard. For this is what you all asked for. And thus you shall receive. I shall be happy to provide. Ultralord says, yep, PhD time. Dope. That's sick, man. I'm so happy for you. My boy, big dog, gonna be a PhD in it. Gonna be a PhD in it. Mike O'Kane. My name is Mike O'Kane. I cracked myself up and nobody else. Anyway, but yeah, good shit, bro. I'm excited for you. Isabel says, "Rip bugs." Yeah, I know. You were really pulling for your boys. You're really pulling for the bugs. If I thought that more people would participate in the poll, I would leave it up for like one more week, I guess, or like, declare. I would I'd let it run for a little bit longer, but I think we've pretty much reached the end of the participation period in that poll. So I think I am going to have to stop it there, I fear. But don't worry, we'll still get to the bugs at some point in the future. All right, so our next step here is going to be to apply some copper to the parts where we've painted turquoise, and I feel like this is going to really help us to sell like the oxidized copper effect if we show it kind of sort of in transition as opposed to being fully oxidized, right? It'll also help pull this more in cohesion with my color scheme that I have for the rest of my sister's army. So to that end, we are going to actually use some of this. We're going to use some Castellax bronze from Citadel for sort of a darker copper foundation, and then we'll use the Vallejo copper that we used back when we were painting our sisters. We'll use this next after the fact to sort of brighten it up a little bit, and then I'm going to throw in probably some rattling grime too to sort of dull it down a bit. And yeah, we'll go from there. So let's get to it. Now, as for the application method, I'm sort of 2 minds. I'm gonna try using the sponge, and I'm gonna also try using my stippling brush too. I'm gonna experiment with both and see what happens. Basically, is the plan here, because I have not tested either of these out ever. So let's see here. So I'm gonna give both of these another thorough shake. Okay, that should do the trick. Alrighty then. Cool beans. There we go, there we go. Let's see here. Excellent. Gonna just get that into the bristles a little bit, get some of this excess off. Let's try it with the stippling brush first, yeah? Yeah. We go to the turret here, and let's get some stippling done, dude. Dismiss that update notification, because I do not care. All right. Oh, yeah. There we go. Yeah, man. This is looking pretty dope. I do like that. I do quite like the stippling method here. Hey, Mr. Walker, how you doing? Welcome in. I'm pretty good, man. How are you? Whew. Oh, that reminds me. I need to get you that information you asked for. Sorry, man. I got really busy at work earlier, so I totally forgot about that. But I will get that to you ASAP for the project. Yes. I will get that to you as soon as I possibly can, bruv. Okay. Alright. I like the way the stippling's working. I'm gonna try, just for the sake of science, to use the sponge too. Let's get that worked into the sponge. And oh, that looks sick too. Okay, you know what? I think the answer is we're going to use both here. We're going to use both techniques low-key because the sponge creates a slightly more like aggressive texture, but I also really like how it works in conjunction with the stippling method too. Yeah. Yeah, that's looking sexy. That is looking extremely sexy to me. Let's see. Yeah, so if I like take the part that's like fully loaded with paint, if I take that and then I like take it to like a dry, and then I take a drier side to it of the sponge, then that helps me to like sort of spread it out a little bit more. Yeah, that way I don't have to worry about getting excess paint in a particular spot. Nice. Nice. I think when I get back to it, I think what I'll do is I'll use the stippling brush for the brighter copper color, actually. I think that's how we're going to use this brush most effectively. Because I definitely do still see it, of course, as having a use. Mr. Walker, how you doing, man? What have you been up to lately? Connor was telling us about how he's going to be starting his PhD soon, and also Godzilla is starting a new project as well, working on the Tyranids from the Leviathan launch box, the same ones I talked about last week on stream. And Isabel? Well, Isabel's just Jay chilling, you know? So what about you, dog? What are you up to? Might actually swap back to the stippling brush now to get these slightly harder to reach areas, kind of hiding away in the toward the hole. Let me get this re-prepared here, and then we're gonna just go very gently into here. We're gonna go very gently into right here. You coolin'? Good shit, bro. Good shit, bro. Good shit. Let's see here. I might actually just dry brush the copper onto this part right here. Okay. Nice. This is actually panning out. This is panning out much better than I thought it would. I'm not gonna lie. I might have to get like the size 0 brush out to get to these little decals right here. And then also to get to, actually I should be able to use this to get to the statues too, because the idea is that these would be made of copper too, right? That's since oxidized and all. Yeah. There we go. Let me zoom in a bit so y'all can see what I'm doing here. So see, there we go. That's what we've done so far. Check that out. Maybe I'll actually split the difference here and keep it zoomed in a little bit so y'all can see a bit better as we continue our work here. Have y'all been following what's been happening with that new Threads app? With the Zuck's answer to Twitter? I gotta say, kudos to whoever on his team decided now was the time to pull the trigger and launch that, because holy hell have Twitter been shooting themselves in the foot lately. That has been not gonna lie, extremely difficult to watch from afar, but also very fun to watch from afar at the same time. It's like a car crash, you just can't look away, you know? I refuse Threads. Yeah, honestly, I don't think I'm gonna end up joining it too. I mean, I don't know. I say that now, then like, you know, by this time next week, y'all gonna be saying, C is for Creation has a fucking Threads account, looking ass, fucking, you know, as content creators, we're always looking for like the next big trend to hop on in order to grow our following and, you know, do all that shit. But like, I don't know. There are just too many. I know there are too many features missing from Threads, and like the excuse I've been hearing. I was just about to ask. I actually talk about that, Jordan. Yeah. So the thing about Threads is that there are too many features missing from it right now for me to really be like on board with it. You know, people keep saying it's a beta, it's a beta, it's a beta, and I'm like, you're a fucking beta. No, I'm kidding. I am kidding. I am kidding. For legal reasons, that was a joke. And like one really weird thing about it is that if you make your Threads account, it is linked automatically to your Instagram account. Moreover, because it is linked to your Instagram account, if you delete your Threads account, your Instagram account is also gone. Whether or not they change that, I don't know. But yeah, there's also no way currently you cannot delete your post. This is what I thought was really fucking dumb. You can't delete your posts. Once it's up right now. And this again, this is the thing that people have been saying, like, oh, it's a beta as an excuse. But I'm like, huh? That seems like a pretty basic feature to leave out of even a beta. But yeah, I don't see it lasting long term, and low-key, I kind of pray that it doesn't. We don't need another Twitter app. We really freaking don't. And like, plus there have been other Twitter imitators in the past who have come and gone. Twitter's just got the brand recognition, the brand recognition, and the legacy, and like just the place in the culture that, you know, I just don't think it can be dislodged from personally. Even with all the money in the world that Mark Zuckerberg could throw at the problem, I just don't think that that's happening, Chief. I just don't think that that's going to be happening, you know. Also, like, again, like this whole excuse, like, oh, it's a beta, that's why there's some features missing. Okay, so you can't add the feature to delete posts in the beta. I feel like so many people don't understand what betas are. Betas are not that far off from what the actual like final product will look like ever. That's like the alpha. The beta, however, is like pretty damn close to like what the actual thing will actually be. So it's like this excuse, I just don't buy it. I'm just like, personally, my conspiracy theory is that in order to like seemingly like artificially inflate like the sort of launch numbers and just to keep people from like fleeing from the platform immediately, and to also make it look like it's like, you know, very bustling, very active, I think that's the reason why they A, made it so you couldn't delete posts, and B, made it so that if you delete your Threads account, it gets rid of your Instagram account too, kind of holding everyone sort of hostage for the time. I'm sure eventually they will turn. I don't think they'll add the feature. I think the feature's already there. I think what they'll do in the future is that they'll simply turn it back on. I think they'll turn it on once they like meet their goals or whatever those happen to be for, you know, their launch. I think once they reach their goals for launch, sorry, give me 1 second here, y'all. Yeah, I think once they reach their goals for launch, then they will finally turn the ability to delete your account without deleting your Instagram on, is what I'm thinking. But yeah, I'm highly sus of the Zuck, for sure. These people are too damn smart to make such silly decisions without, you know, good reason. That's the thing that people got to remember, is that these people are not dumb. They are all very smart. It's part of the reason why, I mean, they're not smart, like, you know, there's certain things that I would argue would say, like, you know, would put their intelligence in the question, sure. But what I mean is that they're smart with what they know. They're smart with what they know. And I just cannot see this as anything but as part, I can't see this as anything else except for, you know, as part of a grander strategy to give Elon Musk what for, you know? That's my take on the situation. That is just my take on the situation. It seems like it's having its 10 minutes of fame. Yeah, I think they understand the hive mind well. Other things maybe not so smart. Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. I was like, they understand how to, like, you know, they understand social engineering on a level that I don't think I will fully ever comprehend. At least as far as it, you know, selling eyeballs to advertisers especially is concerned. I'm referring specifically to, like, the meta people here. Certainly not Elon Musk, because you know what you don't do if you want to, you know, sell eyes to advertisers? What you don't do if you want to sell eyes to advertisers is limit how much stuff the eyes can read in a single day. That was extremely fucking dumb. I have a different conspiracy theory regarding all of that, though. But yeah, no, I agree with you though, Ultra Lord, that, like, they understand, like, the hive mind very well, but not much else. Not much else, I fear. What was I gonna say? I'll never forget when I watched that one Netflix documentary, The Social Dilemma, for the first time, and how that just changed my view on, like, so much about social media. It made me so much more wary of social media than I kind of already was, which was pretty much the point of it, of course. And I'll just say that I think it was extremely effective. I think it was extremely effective on your boy. So there you go. Oh, that's looking so good, y'all. Oh my god. Guys, I am so happy with the way this is turning out so far. I am so happy with the way this is turning out so far. Holy crap, guys. This is going to be such a cool paint job when it's finally all said and done. This is actually turning out pretty much exactly how I planned it so far. And for that, I am very, very happy. And I hope y'all are happy too. I hope you're enjoying watching this come to life as much as I'm enjoying bringing it to life. Also, since we are a little bit further into stream now, I'll just go ahead and give another friendly reminder. Hi everybody, it's your boy Chimera, aka Christian. Thank you so much for being here with me tonight as I paint for you all live here on youtube.com/@ChimeraGames. If you like what you see here and you're not subscribed already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, please. It goes a long way in helping out my channel. Don't forget to like the live stream too, because of course likes really help out with the YouTube algorithm. All hail the algorithm. Also turn on the notification bell as well, so that way you know exactly when I go live, which is every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, right here at youtube.com/Chimera Games. If you want to follow me on my social medias, all of my social medias can be found in the links in the description below this live stream. Thank you very much. And now back to our regularly scheduled painting. And rambling about eccentric billionaires, I guess. Isabel says, loving the colors. Thank you very much, my love. I appreciate that. This is looking fine. I love it when a plan comes together. Don't y'all? Get the tops of these so I don't forget those either. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. God and slumbers fill your eyes. Let's see, load a little bit more paint on here. Oof. Random thought, do the sisters get an anime about them like that one anime about the female tank crews? I don't know. I know there's like one sisters animation kind of floating around out there. I forget what it's called though off the top of my head. I know, such a fake fan. But yeah, honestly dog, I do not know. I do not know. Why is it that you ask? I need to grab one of the actual paintbrushes real quick. Just wanna... Whew. Just want to cover off some of this that's I see is a little unpainted right around here. Just gonna cover that up real quick as best as we can without messing up too much. Welcome back streaming. Hey Jackie, what's good, man? Good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping in, and thank you for the warm welcome back, dog. How you been? By the way, I haven't forgotten about you and your Lucy. We gotta find a time to link up so that way I can you can hand that off to me and I can take care of the rest for you from there. Whew. Now that I'm finally back in my painting groove, I'll definitely be able to get her nice and painted up for you. Oh my goodness. All right. Oh, you're right. I've been good. Just moved to a new place too. Been busy with that. Nice. Congratulations on the move, man. Congratulations on the big move, big tings. Happy for you. As someone who, of course, has moved recently himself, I understand how utterly exhausting in every sense of the word that can be. So I commend you for your bravery in following through with such endeavors. I hope you're happy with the new place, and I hope you continue to be happy with the new place from now until whenever, my guy. I'm just gonna try and remove this mistake right here that I made. Here we go. Nice. Perfection. Okay. Nice. All right. Got the statuettes. Got the highlights. I'll link up once we settle. Good shit, bro. Good shit. Sounds good to me. Speaking of linking up, I'm very excited, y'all, because this weekend, I'm going with some friends to go watch a Formula One race for like the first time in a couple months. I haven't watched like the last few races live, so I'm very excited, especially because this is the Silverstone Grand Prix, the British Grand Prix that's happening this weekend. It's pretty iconic. Sorry, I just got an email on my phone. Pretty iconic race. It was the home of the first ever Formula One Grand Prix, actually, way back in the day. So it's a pretty historic track for that reason. And of course, the track is very different from what it used to be back then. But yeah, overall should be a pretty fun race. The Williams team looking pretty awesome after the first 2 free practice sessions today, which was just like not something that was on my F1 2023 bingo card, like them being up in P3, P5 after FP2. Like, for those of you who don't know, Williams is they're not the worst team. Well, I guess they are kind of the worst team in Formula One. They have the smallest budget, that's for sure. And they came in I think they came in dead last in last year's standings, but they usually round out the bottom of they're usually down there in the bottom of the leaderboard in terms of constructors points and also individual driver points too. But today, holy crap, they came out swinging. Of course, Red Bull's at top, but and actually, speaking of Jordan is alluding exactly to what I'm about to talk about, which is, he says, awesome, so you all have fun watching who will get second place this week. Yeah, no, exactly, because it's obviously going to be Red Bull at the top because they are just absolutely dominant. Max Verstappen's on a tear, and he simply will not stop until he wins that championship, which I assume he'll have locked in the next 2 races. I think it'll probably take at this point. Maybe we'll have to wait till after the summer break. At a certain point, though, it's literally going to become mathematically impossible for anyone to pass him in the driver standings. And soon the bag shall be secured for Oracle Red Bull Racing. Both championships. So it's basically a battle for second place at this point in the season, really. So yeah, we'll have fun with that. I'll be sporting my Mercedes merch. My whole group I'm going with, we're all Mercedes fans. So that'll be a fun thing. Hopefully our boys do well. It is both of their home Grand Prix. It's both the home Grand Prix for Lewis Hamilton and for George Russell. So hopefully they show out, do some good out there on the track. W14 has been looking a lot better lately. But after today's free practice sessions, I'm not going to hold my breath. Godzilla asks, have I read or watched Chainsaw? Oh, Chainsaw Man. Oh yeah, I watched Chainsaw Man. I haven't read it yet, but I did watch the anime. Freaking phenomenal. Oh my god, I cannot wait for the next part of the anime to come out. Thinking about also picking up the manga too at some point so I can read it. I haven't seriously sat down to read manga in a really long time. But yeah, I'm a big Chainsaw enjoyer for sure. I'm looking forward to going to Otakon and likely seeing tons of Chainsaw Man cosplay. There was quite a bit there last year, but not that much. I'm sure there's going to be much more this year. Actually, right now, in terms of anime, speaking of, I started One Piece. I started One Piece a few days ago, and I'm like, oh boy, here the fuck we go, y'all. Here the fuck we go. I would highly suggest reading it. All right, good to know. Big bet. I'm gonna turn to my old sources, and see about getting on that. Also, I see y'all are liking the stream. Thank you so much for liking the stream. I really appreciate that, y'all. Because, of course, as always, it helps out the channel. So I really appreciate that, Okay. I am thinking about what to do next in terms of painting strategy now. I think, real quick, I want to move to adding the rattling grime next. Before we add the, higher copper. Have fun watching over 1,000 episodes. Yeah, I know. I'm really in deep with this. I'm turning into Paul, One Piece stan and 40k players. I'm dead. Oh my god. Well, Paul has excellent taste. What can I say? What can I say? Alright, let's get this rattling grime. This grime loaded up on here. And we're just going to... Actually, no, this is not the best way to apply this. I'm going to actually use my brush instead, like I originally intended. Let's see. Where is my... Is this the size 2? Is this the size 2? This is the size 2. I'm going to use the size 2 brush for this, actually. So let's get that nice and prepped. Load up the brush. And then let's start selectively applying this. Only in certain locations. Might be a little too much. I think what I might do instead is I might lift some of it up with... Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going for. Here we go. We just lift some of it up with the sponge after applying. Yeah! That's some nice, nice little bit of color. Yeah, nice. Always remember that there are two ways to add contrast. You either go brighter, or you go in the opposite direction, and you go darker. Do not forget this, friends. Maybe actually load up the sponge with a little bit more of that. Yeah, I think sponging is really the name of the game with this phase of the project, honestly. Damn, that's sick. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna actually pour a little bit of this out onto the palette. Being sure to be careful, of course, not to get it everywhere. Nice. That way this will be a little bit easier to load up into the sponge, since we've decided now that we're going to use the sponge. Going to push that down in there. Pushing it down in there doesn't really work the same way it does with like regular paint because it's contrast, so it's already seeping into the sponge. But that's okay. For our purposes, this is going to work just fine. So we're gonna, and then we're gonna dry sponge that right there, and right there, just to add a little bit of, just to make it a little bit more subtle. Gonna add some harder dots of it too in certain random places as well. So like for example, I won't sponge this up quite as much. I'll actually leave that a little bit like splotchy. There we go. I think what I actually need to do is I need to take some water over here. I'm just gonna thin this down a shit ton. I'm gonna thin this down like a lot. So it's like super duper watery. And now we're going to use this on these parts. Yeah, there we go. Nice. This is a much easier way to apply it to these parts, I think. That way I can reach around the corners and shit too. Yeah. Nice. Nice. Just give that metal a little bit more depth and dirt. I really like that. Can also apply some of this to the statuettes. Yeah. That really did need a little bit more contrast, so I'm glad I added that. Whew. That was a good call, Christian. That was a good call. Got a little bit too much right here, so I'm going to soak some of that up so that way it doesn't get all blotchy. Nice. Now let's do the other side. I'll zoom in a little bit too so y'all can see better what exactly is going on here. There we go. You have to forgive me while I orient myself. My camera is upside down relative to my current position, so I have to like do some extra calculus in my head to make sure I got everything angled correctly and stuff. There we go. Making that look nice and grimy. Yeah, buddy. I realized I could have just used Nuln Oil for this step, but I like that this is a slightly like brownish black. So that's why I decided to use Rattling Grime instead of Nuln Oil, just for the slight shade difference. I think would be much better off. Here we go. And we want to just apply this not in the metallic areas, we want to make it spill over into the parts that are turquoise as well. Theoretically, that's how it would all look anyway. It would all look pretty grimy, pretty dusty. There we go. Make sure we get in here too. Nice. Isabel says those details. Thanks, babe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, you know what? I just realized I didn't apply any whatchamacallit here. There's no copper on this part, on these parts right here. Hold on. Let me, oh, drop my brush. Fix that real quick. Get some more of that on there. By the way, I just saw something on Twitter saying Alex was fastest in a larger portion of the track. Alex, yeah, I watched the tech talk that Formula One posted. They said that on there too. They said that on there that Alex was like faster than Max on like on more of the track, which I thought was fascinating. I'm like, what the hell did they do to the FW45 to make it that good in such a short amount of time since the last race? It's crazy, bro. Just gonna take a little bit of this and just apply that here. Here. Apply some of that right there. My response to making mistakes is to cover them with blood. Ah, very clever. I like doing that, or I like using like debris and stuff too. Or I'll just like exaggerate the mistake that I made and like make it into like battle damage or whatever the hell. I'll do that too. Here we go. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Whew, it's time for a quick stretch break. Quick water break too. Where's my water bottle? There you are, friend. All right. There we go. Feeling nice and refueled in it. Let's see. Oh. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god. Ultra Lord, I just saw your DM. Oh my fucking god. I didn't realize you were referring to Panzer Girls. Bro, I did not realize you were referring to Panzer Girls. Oh my god, I have not thought about Panzer Girls in like, I don't even know how fucking long it's been since I last even thought of Panzer Girls, dude. Holy shit. I have no thoughts. I simply just have no thoughts. Thoughts, they do not exist here. Thoughts do not exist here. Here comes a thought. Oh, nope, nope. That was something else. That was, I don't know, maybe a fart. Who knows? Panzer Girls is this anime where basically it's this anime and it was also a visual novel too. A lot of the Let's Players played it back in the day, where basically you had these tanks, right? And they talked, but like and in order to talk, they basically had like these avatars, these like anthropomorphic avatars that just were all anime girls. And these tanks, they had like thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams. I think the visual novel was also a dating sim too. So you were able to like date, you were able to date the tanks, man. It was a wild time. It was a wild time, and there was also an anime for it too. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, I know. In fact, this same concept was utilized in an anime that I actually thought was actually pretty decent. This is like an actually pretty good anime. This same concept was used in this anime called Apregio of Blue Steel, where you take the same concept as Panzer Girls, except make them naval ships, like battleships, destroyers, cruisers, submarines, etc. It was a lot more like dramatic tone, like darker tone, action oriented tone to it, with like some silly goofy moments thrown in there. But yeah, basically same concept. And not a terrible watch. Got canceled though before it could get like a new season, unfortunately. So like, you know, kind of died in the water. But yeah, Pregio Blue Steel. I think of it and I just go, yeah, that was a thing. I just think of that and I go, yep, that was indeed a thing. That was indeed a thing. Alright, so where are we at with all this? Okay, this side, I don't think I actually got to the... Did I do the... No, I did not do that, so let me get in here with some more of the contrast paint in it. That's so cursed, I know. It really is. Are you saying Sisters of Battle Tanks aren't anime girls? Yes. Oh my god. Y'all are too funny. Y'all are too funny. And that'll prepare us for our future step there. Okay, alright, amazing. Cool, cool, cool. Alright. Whew! Alright. I'm gonna have to go get more paper towels soon. This one's getting pretty dirty. Pretty dirty, isn't it? That would be a Slanesh corrupted rhino. Oh my god, not a Slanesh corrupted rhino. Oh brother. Oh no, not Slanesh. As a friendly Warhammer 40k lore reminder, because I know I explained this on stream a while back, but for those of you who do not recall, Slanesh is the god of pleasure and excess, and BDSM in the Warhammer lore. So yeah, there's that. There certainly do be that. The other thing I will say about Apregio Blue Steel is that it had a pretty kick-ass opening song. Savior of Song by Nano. That song goes hard. I still listen to it from time to time. You know what? I think I'm going to make the executive decision to not add the brighter copper. I might add it in a few areas, but it's going to be way more select than I was initially thinking it would be, I think. Because I like the darker copper. I think the darker copper is a lot more effective for what we're going for here. But I do want to give it a little bit of lift in some areas, so we will do that. We will do that, just to add some more dimension to it. But before I do that, I will be right back, y'all. I'm just going to go grab some more paper towel. Give me 1 second. And we're back. See, I wasn't gone very long. Let's see, Godzilla Nid says, Attack on Titan greater than every other opening. Which Attack on Titan opening are you referring to? So I have thoughts depending on which one you pick. Alright, we are back with our newly rearmed paper towel. And we are ready to resume painting. Okay. Where am I going now? Welcome back. Thank you very much, Isabel. Thank you very much. Alright, let me grab some of this here copper color. Shake that up a little bit. All the 4th season ones, yeah, I agree. My War, Rumbling, all those, they slap, they go hard. I forget what the most recent one is, because, you know, the most recent one, it's like came out ages ago and there hasn't been any new shit since. I do not understand why they are drip feeding us, and the way that they are. Hold on, give me 1 second, let me, give me 1 second here, folks. I'm just gonna just notice that the whatchamacallit is the chat's acting weird, so I'm just gonna move my face cam over here, and we will continue on. Yeah, no, all the 4th season ones slap. Although I will say, and I know this is kind of a controversial opinion, but Red Swan from season 3 is personally my favorite Attack on Titan opening. I know not many people feel this way, but I am not many people. But yeah. Actually, we are going to apply this in a few different places. Pretty sparingly, but yeah. I like the lift that this brighter copper is providing. Did I see the new trailer? Did I see the newest one? I don't recall if I've seen like the newest one. Let me think. Is that the one? Oh wait, no, wait. I have seen that one because yeah, because there's a. I remembered a specific shot from there just now. Yeah, I have seen it. Woo, that's gonna be pretty spicy. Mm-hmm. That's going to be pretty spicy. So I'm very much looking forward to all that. When's the release date again? Loki forgot the release date. All right. This is coming along very nicely. Just applying a dry brush of this copper in a few key areas. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy at all. Yeah. I'm liking the way this looks. Sometime in August. Okay, gotcha. Makes sense. Alright, the next thing we are going to do, we've completed that step, is we are going to go into some dark Prussian blue, which, as some of you might recall from a prior, me letting y'all know on a prior stream, this was actually the original primary color for my sisters. This is basically the color that started it all. I'm going to take this right now. I'm going to take this, I'm going to apply it to where we see all the fleur-de-lis, or most of the fleur-de-lis on the model. I'm going to make it look like some sort of worn out detail by simply stippling this onto the model. Wait, this is medium blue. I just realized this is medium blue. Wrong paint. Silly Christian. Tricks are for kids. Where is dark Prussian blue? This is it right here. Here we go. We might use this medium blue for something else. We'll see. Let's pour this out. There we go. This. Uh-oh. Let me put the cap back on before I actually put this over the model. This was the original primary color for my sisters. This dark Prussian blue. This will again just help to tie everything in with our Sisters of Battle to begin with. That way it all just seems a lot more coherent, basically, is what we're going for. Coherency is the name of the game. We want to be kind of subtle about it, of course, and I'll zoom in so you all can see this part a little bit better too. Make sure that's focused. There we go. So here's basically what I'm trying to do, y'all. Here's basically what I'm trying to do. Basically that. Yeah, basically that. Might take a little bit more paint off the brush before resuming here. Yeah, that's basically what we want right there. And then we got another fleur-de-lis right here. So I'm gonna use our smaller brush for that, so I don't get it everywhere unintentionally. There we go, nice. Let's see, there are a few more of these I wanted to do this on. This one on the back right here. This one on the back. We'll actually paint around this skull. Uh-oh. Camera's out of focus, silly me. We'll actually go around this skull so as to what I'll do is I'll apply the paint, and then what I'll do is I'll take what's on there, and before it dries too much, I shall stipple it in to give it the same sort of coherent look with everything else we got going on. There we go. Sort of work that back in there. Got a little on the skull, but that's okay. Makes sense for the paint to sort of run off into there. I actually kind of really like the kind of ghostly look to it too. Yeah, that works. I'm not too upset about that. Oh, what we will do, okay, this is what we're going to use the medium blue for. I've discovered a usage for it. So we're going to use the medium blue that I accidentally poured for us. We're actually going to use it right now for all the headlights on the tank real quick. I'll hit those up before I forget them. So let me zoom back in here. So we'll lay down first a foundation of our dark Prussian blue as a base coat for these lights. We're probably gonna need a couple of thin coats here. Probably gonna need a couple of thin coats here. But that's okay. Yeah, I love that. I love that color. God, I forgot how much I absolutely adore this color, this dark Prussian blue. Whew. See, look at that, y'all. Ain't that something? I'm gonna pull out just a little bit. Pause. Alright. Yeah. Here we are. Whew. Nice. And there's a fly. That's okay. We will ignore him for now. Okay, there are two more lights to grab, and those are on top of the turrets right here and right here. So we'll grab those two real quick. Finish getting this one though. Okay, how do I want to approach this? Guess I'll turn it like this. Yeah, that should work. Nice, there we go. That's one light. Flip it over, get the other one. I literally just straight up made a mistake right there. That's okay. We can just erase that before it dries. And we'll be golden. Get a little bit of water off of that. Add a little bit too much water. Nice. I'll just dry up any excess water with my finger real quick by just rubbing it out. Pause. Wait, is this a light right here? No, that's not a light. That's just the top of the hatch. Okay, cool. A slight mistake was made on my part right around here. You know what? We're gonna cover it up with some more dry brushing. I'm gonna use the bright copper for this. Dry this off. Okay, here we go. Gonna get the grates right here. Almost neglected those. Don't want to leave these neglected. Just want to apply some copper right there. There goes that goddamn fly again. All right. Get a little bit more in the middle right there. That's excellent. There we go. I like the effect we got right there. And get the top side right here too. Very gently. Uh-oh. And I just got a shit ton of paint on my hand. That's fine. I'll just take this towel and wipe that off real quick. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. I cannot believe it has already been an hour and a half since stream began. How's everyone holding up? Everyone having a good time? I really do sure hope so. Since we are around the 90-minute mark of our stream, I'll just go ahead and do another quick plug for the channel. If you're new here, y'all, thank you so much for subscribing to Chimera Games. I really appreciate all of your support. If you're not subscribed yet, please do so. That would go a long way in supporting the channel. Don't forget to like the live stream too, if you like what you see here, of course, because that always helps with the old almighty algorithm. And also don't forget to hit the notification bell too. That way you know exactly when we are live here on youtube.com/Chimera Games every Friday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to follow me on my social medias, all my social media links can be found in the description below. You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. For now. We'll see about maybe getting a Threads account in a little bit. Nah, I doubt I will. But yeah, thank you for the support, y'all. Godzilla says doing some green highlights. Ooh, green. What, remind me what your color scheme is for your Tyranids again, Godzilla? Alright, I think our dark Prussian blue should be more or less dried up. So now we're going to add a layer of a brighter blue. In this case, it'll be this medium blue on top of it. Nice. Green, purple with red spots. That's right. I remember that there are red spots. Green, purple with red spots and orange. That's gonna look so good. You gotta show those off at some point when you're done with them. I think I still follow you on Instagram, so if you post, I will definitely like and hype you up in the comments. I have so much paint on my hands, wowie. Bada bing. Highlight number 1. Bada boom. Highlight number 2. Perfect. Or not highlight, really just like sort of medium layer. Not quite highlighty yet. You know what I should do probably actually before... Actually, no. I'll wait until after we add the next highlight layer. Do. Almost forgot to take this brush out of here. Cough, repainted my Swarmlord on Insta. Let me see. I'm gonna go pull that up real quick, take a look, see. While I'm waiting for this layer to dry. Oh, that looks absolutely stunning, dude. Oh my god, I freaking love that. I love how you put the red spots on the purple carapace. I love the highlights you've achieved in the green areas, especially on the tail. That tail looks nice. Love the blood effects, of course. I love how you combine the orange and the red here, too. Oh, that is sick, dude. Dude, congrats on that. Very excellent. Very well done, friend. Awesome. And yeah, if y'all want to follow Godzilla Nid on Instagram as well, Godzilla Nid's username is the exact same thing. Wait, hold on, let me double check before I put my foot in my mouth. Yes, Godzilla Nid's username and profile picture are the exact same. So if you want to go check out Godzilla Nid's work, find that shit on Instagram, y'all. Give it a like, give it a thumbs up. Support our fellow Chimera Games community members, why don't you? All in a day's work, literally a day's work, right? Whew. Man, oh man. I'm trying to think of what the longest stretch of time I've ever spent on a single project. I'm trying to think of what that might be. Let me look over at my shelf. Oh, never mind. I got the answer immediately when I looked back over there. So, in my Votann Army launch box, the 3 Harnkin Pioneers, the bike units for the Leagues of Votann, oh my god. Those shits took for frickin' ever. I think I spent like 8 straight hours painting them. And I was like a third of the way done. I was like, sheesh. Those things are actually a lot more challenging to paint than they look. At least if you want to paint them well, which, you know, your definition of what is well painted will of course be different from mine. But yeah, that shit was intense. Kind of low-key turned me off to the idea of painting any more Votann for the foreseeable future until I can stop working full-time. Until I can stop working full-time, I don't think I'll ever tackle Votann again, pretty much is where I'm at, low-key. I spent well over a month on my Diamond Huron. Damn! That thing is pretty huge, too. So that makes a lot of sense to me, that you would spend like well over a month on that shit. But damn. How many, if you had to put a number to like the actual number of hours you were working on it, how many would you say? Adding the final highlight now for these lights by just adding a little bit of dots of blue. And what I'll point out too, while we have a second, so where I'm deciding to paint these, I'll zoom in here so y'all can see. So if you look at where the light, like my hobby lamp light, is falling on the blue dots, which are the headlights, like right here, you see where the light is sort of like shining the brightest right there? That's exactly where my brightest highlights are going to be, since they catch the light the most. So those are the spots I'm painting over as I do this to get some pretty effective highlights. Right on top of there, quick painting fundamentals pro tip for you right there. One there, and then hold this up to the light, paint that one right there. Ooh, this size 2 brush is my favorite. I think of all the Rosemary & Co brushes I have, this size 2 is, I think, my favorite in the arsenal. Probably around 64 hours, damn, one for each Nintendo. No, I'm kidding. That's intense though. Congratulations on pushing through with that. How many, two questions. One, how many points is the Daimakiron in game? And two, is did the Daimakiron get swept up in the like sort of blanket ban on Forge World models that happened a while back that Custodes players are still very, very salty about? And so are World Eaters players too, while we're at it. All right, let's do the simmering enders. What is this, Minecraft? The simmering embers inside of the sconces here. Oh, damn! They removed the Daimakiron. Damn, I'm sorry, dude. That fucking sucks. I can't imagine how terrible it must feel to spend so much time and energy on a model just for GW to be like, hey, guess what? That shit is banned from competitive play, or just banned from 40k straight up. That fucking sucks, dude. But hey, at least you can say that you still painted that shit though, and painted it very well, I trust, as well. Also, the general strategy for going in right now with these embers is I'm going to lay down a base coat of dark Prussian blue, and then I'm going to shade that a little bit to give it a bit more depth, and then we'll paint some black on top of it so that way the rocks will be the real color that they're supposed to be. It still looks nice, yeah. There you go. It's a nice piece, of course, to always have in the collection. And the good news is, it'll quite literally last forever because it's made of resin, so, you know. Maybe one day they'll come to their senses and make it playable again. Okay, that should be good. So we'll just wait for this to dry a little bit before we move on to the next part, which will be shading it, and then we gotta let that dry, and then we paint the rocks black, and then we should be almost done with this. What is this? Interesting. Okay. Trying to think of what's left to work on after that. Oh, you know what? I know what we can do after. I'm probably gonna replace it with the Norn Emissary when that comes out. I'm gonna replace it with the Norn Emissary when that comes out. Dope. Yeah, I can see that being a suitable replacement for the Daimakiron. You know, as close to one as you can, you know, feasibly get. You know what's one thing I'll do while I wait for this shit to dry? I will grab some white, and we're gonna go back. We're gonna do some more of that that highlighting around the edges of our patina around the main body of the tank, and sort of brighten those up a little bit more. There are a couple more that I realized I did not quite get last time, and I think I want to actually get them. So we're gonna get them. When you're ready, coming in it. Grab some water. Not too much water. Grab some paint, though not too much paint. Get a nice tip rolled on that. Perfect. Let's go in and grab some of these more of these edges. So I see one right here that I'd like to grab. So I'm gonna grab that. Cool. I'm gonna grab a little bit more paint. I think I removed too much from my brush. I just saw a really nice one that I want to grab. It is over here. Gonna grab some of this corner right here. Nice, 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 nice. You grab some in between this crack right here. What else is there? Grab some of that shit right there. Nice. Let me think, where else can I find some? Nice. Here's one right here we can get. Excellent. Oh my god, so today I had to go to the dry cleaners because I had to get some of my dressier clothes. I had to get them dry cleaned because I have a job interview coming up next week, y'all. Oh yeah, there's another big life update for y'all. I got an interview for a new job coming up next week. I can talk about it now because I've finally alerted my my current bosses that I've been like looking for new jobs and shit. So now I feel comfortable talking about it with you all. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. It's the first job interview I've had in a while, so got to get my clothes all nice and dandied up and everything. And the guy who works the counter there, he and I were talking, and he asked me like, "Hey, what's your nationality, dude?" I was like, I'm from the United States. I'm from Virginia originally. He's like, "Oh, okay." The reason why I ask is because you look Dominican. And we had a good laugh over that one. I was like, wow, because believe it or not, that is the second time in my life I believe I've been told that I look like I'm from the Dominican Republic. I can see why. I can see where homeboy is coming from. But I just thought that was absolutely hilarious. So that was a fun little moment. But yeah, I have the interview next week. I'm excited. I have to give a presentation as a part of the interview, which I'm not super duper nervous about, really, because I am an actor after all, and public speaking is low-key one of the things I do best. I mean, I don't know, y'all be the judges of that, I guess. My lovely, lovely stream audience. So yeah, looking forward to it. I think it's going to go well. As nervous as I am about it, because I care. I'm always nervous about the things I care about. Like, for example, turning on this webcam every night and every Friday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time and streaming in front of you all. Yeah, I'll let y'all know how that goes. It's on Tuesday, so I'll have it before the next stream. So the next time I'm on stream, I'll give you guys an update. If I hear back by then. I doubt I will. It's probably going to take a couple of weeks, honestly, but you never know. You never know. But yes, I'll be sure to keep y'all posted on how that shit goes. I'm noticing some more edges too that I want to give a quick little highlight bump to, so I'm going to do those real quick as well. Our dark Prussian blue looks like it's just about dried, so we'll be able to move on to the next step over that way shortly. There we go. There we go. There we go. What's the job, if you don't mind sharing? The job, it's a different job in the undergraduate admissions department, basically. It's a full-time gig as opposed to like the part-time on paper one that I have right now. Basically, it's to this has got some additional responsibilities involved. Some traveling to like different schools is involved with that as well. And that's about as much as I feel like I can say. about it. Like, I could probably speak more about it. I just don't know if, like... I just have to double check. But yeah. Basically, it's just a different job. This is just a different position in undergraduate admissions that would involve a bit more full-time work, bit full-time effort. And eventually I will explain a little bit more in the future. Because I do not want to jinx anything. Yeah, I really hope I get this job, though. I'm excited. All right, this is looking great. Let's go find some black and get that out real quick. Got just over an hour left before the end of stream. That is excellent. We are making great time here. And I hope you all are having a great time. Jordan says, cool, man. No need to share more. You gave me enough information to understand. Word. All right, I got you, cuz. I got you. But yeah, like I said, I'll keep y'all posted on how that develops in the coming days. Alright, I'm basically just skidding across the top of these rocks on the inside. Just making sure I catch the top but not the sides. So that way we can still see some of the blue poke through, as if like the blue embers are still kind of glowing a little bit. Just ever so slightly. For the fire of the Emperor's light never fully goes out. There's always a little bit of an ember to be found. Somewhere out there in the grim darkness of the far future. So this doesn't take a lot of heavy lifting at all. Just want to go very gently. Gently, sir, gently. That's a line from a play I did in high school. We did a translation of Moliere's Tartuffe. For some reason, that's like the only line from that show I can remember. That was a fun time. If you were to bring back one dead Primarch, who would it be, and how would I do it? Who would it be and how would I do it? Let me think about who is confirmed dead. Alright, hear me out, right? So Sanguinius, right? I think I would bring him back, first of all. And the way I would do it, like if we're talking like lore, if we're talking like story, right? I can't necessarily describe it step by step, but I feel like he's gotta be Ferrus Manus's head driving a robot body. No, I got it. I want Sanguinius to come back, and I want him to just be like the most chilled out, like surfer ass dude. I want him to be like coming like and surfing on like on a surfboard, maybe surfing on a wave of blood, because I feel like that'd just be kind of fitting for the boy. And so like representatives or like delegates from the Imperium were just like, oh my god, is that? And then he like walks up and he's like, hey, what's up? Not that this necessarily fits the grimdark setting of the Warhammer universe. I just think it would be kind of funny. I just think it'd be kind of fun. And then like all of a sudden like they like, you know, they're talking, they're catching him up on everything that he missed, and then like he just has a moment where he snaps back to like his old self. So I feel like that creates some interesting, I guess you can say, dramatic tension. I don't know if I'm describing this super duper well, but that's what I see in my head. That is what I see in me head. I would have part of Sanguinius' corpse be eaten by the Tyranids for them to make a Sanguinid. Ooh, that'd be really freaking cool. A Sanguinid. Honestly, like, Primarch infused Tyranids in general is a concept that I really dig, and I hope there's like, they find that there's room to explore that in the future, because I personally would like to see that be explored. Right now what I decided to do is I decided to just lay down little pools of black here and there, and I'm going to sponge these. I'm going to sponge these so that they create a little bit of a black speckle pattern. Okay, they're not quite speckling, but they are creating an effect that I think does look interesting. Might rub this one out a little bit. Yeah, not bad. You know what I could try is I could try like flicking it onto the turrets by like flicking the brushes, the brush bristles like Jackson Pollock style. Okay. Something to consider. Something to consider indeed. One thing we actually do need to do real quick though is I'll go ahead and do this step now, since we're actually almost just about done with this, which is kind of surprising. I did not expect to be almost done with this fast. I missed a little insignia. I missed a fleur-de-lis on top right here. Where's my dark Prussian blue? Here it is right here. There we go. All right. Ultralord, I love your idea of Ferris's head driving a robot body. I feel like that'd be very, very on brand for that guy. It would fit so well considering the big rivalry the Nids and the Blood Angels have, and would increase that even more with them seeing their father twisted and turned into an alien monstrosity. Yeah, I agree. From a story perspective, I feel like that'd be dope. I think that would also make for just an awesome, like, really kick-ass model too. Somebody get GW on the line. They need to get Godzilla in the writer's room, like now. You dig? Gonna darken that up a little bit. There we go. All right, so for our next trick, I need to find, where is Gravelord Gray? Oh, I think I pulled it out already. It should be right here. Yes, we're gonna use Army Painter Speed Paint Gravelord Gray. Keep in mind that this is a 1.0 speed paint, so it still has the reactivation feature that we want to exploit. We're gonna use that to our advantage here. Ferris might be part of the Legion of the Damned. Several times a giant headless warrior has been fighting along with them. That's an interesting theory, actually. And something that I have not considered before. But holy shit, yeah, that might be him. We need some confirmation on that, low-key. I'd be very curious to know if that is actually true. You know what? Actually, we're not going to use Gravelord Gray. I'm realizing that this is a little too dark for what I want to use it for, or for what I want right now. So we're actually going to use... Where is Runic Gray? Which is my sort of... Here it is, my sort of bluish gray instead. It's a little blue, it's a little on the blue side, but it's still gray, so we're going to use it. And I think what I'll do is I'll use Gravelord Gray with it after the fact. I'm gonna thin this down pretty severely here. Make that super duper thin. Maybe I'll experiment with blending some of the Gravelord Gray into it too. That looks pretty good though. So we're gonna take this, and I'm thinking, right, because our sisters' bases are all covered in like gray ash and shit, we're gonna try and match the same thing here on the very bottom of the model, so it looks like it all came from the same place, you dig? And actually, I think this is a little too light. We're gonna bring in the Gravelord Gray a step early, actually. Yeah, this is more so what we want. Okay, so the Gravelord Gray, it looks like it's pretty dark on the palette, but it's actually the exact color we want, so we're gonna roll with it. We're gonna roll with it here. I might actually have to get the bigger brush too, so that we can really sell this effect. Yeah, we're gonna need more. We're gonna need more bristles here. So let me grab the bigger brush. Let me grab the size 5. Ultralord says, yeah, I think the Iron Warriors who died at Istvan 3 are Legion of the Damned or something. At least that's my understanding from r/Grimdank. Ah, I see, gotcha. Let's load this up and let's just slather this all over the side right here. Yeah, here we go. Perfect. That's nice and dark. That's nice and dark right there. I'm gonna also slather this all over the bottom, and just like we did in the very beginning, we're gonna sponge this. We're gonna sponge all this that I'm applying right now. So it all looks nice and gray and ashy. Just like me in the winter. Okay. Godzilla Nid says you should put blood on the tracks and splatter it up on the front to make it look like you just ran someone over. Ooh. An interesting idea indeed. And one I might have to consider. I'll make sure I have a good red for that. I think I do. I haven't inventoried my paints in ages, so I gotta double check that. Yeah, we shall see. I'm just gonna freeform slather this all over the place. Get some on the tracks too. Yeah, man. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. And now we can go ahead and we can sponge just about all of this. Yeah. That's looking excellent. Added a nice little depth, incidentally, to the model, too. Blood for the Blood God works well. Duly noted, Godzilla Nid. I shall keep that in mind. Alright, bet. Ooh, god damn, this is looking so good. Oh, wow. Holy shit, I'm actually really happy with the way this is looking. And I have a shit ton of paint on my arm. Actually, that's useful, because I was just about to grab some more copper paint, and you know what? I was like, wait, where'd my copper paint go? So let me just grab that. Just gonna grab that off my arm real quick. I'll make sure to wash that off later. Just want to take some more paint to this detail and this detail. Actually, I don't want to dry brush the entire gun. Not quite the entire gun, but I'll do like selective dry brushing here and there. It looks amazing. Oh, thanks, babe. I appreciate that. Oh, duh, I gotta get the front of the tank too. Christian, you're so silly. Okay. There we go. There we go. Nice and subtle. Nice and subtle. Okay. Let's get a little bit more Gravelord Gray. Get that on the front right here. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. All right. And we sponge that on. I'll get the tops of the treads too. Almost forgot that too. Gotta get that on there for sure. Mm-hmm. There we go. Nice. And quite frankly, I was thinking about adding a second layer, but honestly, I think this is all we really need to sell the effect, quite frankly. Might add some more to the treads here. Just maybe willy-nilly blend in some rattling grime too. Just add a little bit more depth to these treads. I noticed there wasn't a lot of depth right here. Whew! Guys, this is all coming together. I'm so excited. I'm really happy that this is turning out so well, considering that I learned a new technique in order to make this color scheme or like this like paint scheme possible. So I'm really happy to see that panning out. Really, really happy to see that panning out. You know what? This deserves a little bit of copper too. Nice. Maybe add a little bit of the Castellax bronze to just add a little bit more variety. You know what else I'll do too? I'll actually hit up these two hatches right here. I'll do those too with some Castellax bronze dry brushing. I decided like it just being like kind of like white and black isn't quite enough for me. I want to go a bit beyond that, I think. So let's do this. Let's apply some more copper here, or some more Castellax bronze here. Nice. Let's do the same right over here. Yeah, that looks a lot better, I think. This makes a lot more sense to me. And the black still provides a pretty decent undercoat for this too, so we can actually have it both ways here. Maybe I'll dry brush this too. I just noticed this detail. That's the thing I love about working on like big individual models like this, is picking out the details. It's so fun. It's so fun. I love finding all these little details and picking them out. Because the more you do it, the more it just all jumps to life. I freaking love it. I love it. I love painting. I love Warhammer. This is so much fun. These are the moments we paint for, y'all. These are the moments we paint for. Truly. Not to be a sopping wet beast about it. but it's just true. Mm-hmm. Ha, diggity dog. This place is fantastic. Or is that the Negan quote from Walking Dead? The one that was a meme format on TikTok a while back? Is that what he says? All right. Yeah. I'm really vibing with this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What else needs doing? Magnificent. Ah, thank you, dog. I appreciate that. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, you know what I will do, Godzilla Ned, based on your idea? I will find... Yes, here we go. My astrogranite debris. Very nice Haru Specs, Chow. Thank you, I'm honored. Honestly, if this had to be devoured by your Haru Specs, Godzilla Ned, I'd feel very honored. I feel like my tank is looking very gourmet right now. You know. Oh, my goodness. Make sure these are shaken up very well. Oh, someone in my gaming group at Discord is attempting to sell off some Imperial Guard stuff. Fascinating. Where's my terrain tool? That's my paintbrush box. This is not the right box. Silly Christian. Okay. Let me find... There we go. The tools. And we need my terrain tool. Imp Guard nuggets. Oh my god. Imp Guard nuggets with a side of Admech French fries for ya. Godzilla Ned for you and your nids. How about that? How's that sound? I'm gonna apply some of this astrogranite debris to the fronts of the tank treads. How much of it will stick on? I don't know. But hopefully enough. Hopefully enough of it will stay on through many rounds of transport. That's why I'm only applying it here, because I figured applying it to the bottom is kind of useless, because it's just going to come off over time. And as this dries, it'll look a lot more gritty. Because that's what texture paints are generally all about. The effect you're going for gets stronger as the paint dries. And the more of it you apply in the area in question, the stronger the effect shall be. Let's get a decent amount of that on there. Maybe some of it on the front bumper right here too. And then what we'll do, actually, Because we will also, I think, make a sort of blood-like solution to go in this too. Get the dirt and the grime mixed in with the blood, per Godzilla Nid's idea. I think that could look pretty cool. You know what? I think another place to put some of this would also be in between the tank treads too. Oh, and I just touched that by mistake. That's okay. We're just going to take our finger and we're going to apply that to the tank treads on the side here. Work smarter, not harder, friends. Smarter, not harder. I just realized I am running very low on astrogranite debris. I do not have a lot in here to even retrieve to begin with, so hopefully we'll be able to make enough of this work. Yeah, dubs to Godzilla Nid for the idea. For the imagination. Where can I even hold this right now? By the turret? Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to hold it by the turret for the time being. And I got some on my fingers anyway. Silly me. That's alright. That's alright. Alright. Since this is almost done, I guess I gotta get my photo booth ready too. I got some plastic cardstock recently. I would say people would describe me incredibly talented. It's me. I'm people. I think you are very talented. Godzilla Nid, you are a very talented painter. And I appreciate your presence in chat, fam. Always, always, always. There we go. Very nice. Just gonna apply some of this here, here. Get that spread out. Yeah, I was gonna say before, so I recently acquired, I don't know if y'all saw one of my more recent TikToks from last week, but basically I took a trip to see one of my best friends. I think I talked about this on talked about this on stream too. I picked up some plastic, oh not plastic, some foam board, some black foam board from my friend goes to Yale, and the scene shop next door to where they work, in the grad design program, they were giving away a bunch of free stuff. And turns out scenic designers really like using Games Workshop products for their scale models. They use a lot of the paints and texture paints especially, and some other items too that are really good for the hobby in general. So I snagged up a bunch of free stuff, and some of it was the foam board, and so I'm gonna put it together using a hot glue gun I just got, and make a little makeshift photo booth. That way I can take some higher quality photos of the things we make together here on stream. So some cooler, neater photos of all that is coming down the pipeline for y'all here soon. Oh, here's an idea. I literally just thought of this idea as I was staring at it. I know exactly how we're going to make this this blood color. I'm gonna take my red, I'm gonna take some Doom Bull brown I see out of the corner of my eye. I wanna mix it together, add in just a touch of rattling grime, I think, to that mix. Thin all of that down, and then that's gonna be what we add to the treads and shit. Per Godzilla Nid's amazing idea. This is almost ready. I'm very happy. Yes, so let me grab this red. Oh, I like red. It's the color of an apple. Orange. It's the color of an orange. Let's see, I think we do like 1 drop of, maybe 2 drops of red. Yeah, that's about 2 drops of red. We do 2 drops of red. We grab our Doom Bull Brown straight from the pot. Ooh, this needs to be mixed. I clearly have not used this in a month of Sundays. So let's mix that up real quick. There we go. Nice and recombined. So let's grab some of that. I'm gonna mix these two together first. We just need to darken that down with a little bit of our rattling grime to boot. Yeah. We need a lot more rattling grime though. Let me grab a bunch of that. Bring it over here. Oh yeah. That's looking really good. Okay. Let me add a little bit more red back into the mix. Alright. We're just gonna do what we did before. We're gonna take this, we're gonna just apply it to the bottom like so. Oh yeah, see that turned out great. Look at that, y'all. That's a great blood color right there. Yeah. Add some to the treads. Need to thin that down a little bit more. Perfect. All right. This is actually the first time I've ever made a blood color by myself. Blood for the blood god, am I right? Am I right, fellow heretics? I say as I paint a Sisters of Battle tank. And now we sponge all that in. All that goes in. And it looks beautiful while we do it. Blood, gore, indeed. Blood, gore, and vor. The Tyranid motto. I actually quite like the nice little subtle lift of color that gives the whole thing too. All right. Wow, wow, wow. You guys, I think we can call this done. I honestly think we can call this done. Heresy is based 100%. Yeah, I mean, aside from the astral granite debris and a couple other things needing to dry still, I'm ready to call this complete. I just gotta make one more check for like any mistakes, any nicks I might have made while handling the model just now, because I did just have a shit ton of paint on my hands, so yeah. I don't see anything. Nothing's really catching my eye that would be, I would consider wrong at all. Yeah. Holy crap. This project is done. Alright. Let's get some dubs in the chat for yet another completed project right here on Chimera Games, y'all. That is project number 2. In the books. Holy shit. Alright. All that's left to do is really let the astral granite debris dry overnight, and then once that's fully dry, this bad boy is going to be ready for some pictures. At which point I will prepare the photo booth. There we go. All right. I'm going to change the title of stream just for posterity's sake. We're going to change this to finishing Castigator because we finished it. Setup crazy. Hey, Matt, what's good, man? Says setup crazy, by the way. Thank you, dog. You finished making food up. Yes, Godzilla, your denial is served. Let me bring her more into the limelight so y'all can see. But yeah, there we go. Check that out, y'all. This looks excellent. I am very, very happy with the way this turned out. All right. Well. Excellent, excellent work. Go team. Whew. All right. So that's that. I am very satisfied with this. I'm just really like, I'm just kind of sitting here right now just thinking like, dang, an idea that I had that was like on my own turned out fucking awesome, and I'm just really happy about that. If I was still able to use my diamond, they would be rating good. They would. What do you mean rating? Or I guess you mean eating, huh? But yeah, they would be eating good. Your diamond Curon would certainly be eating good. Got a nice vanilla with cotton candy swirl. Got a nice vanilla with cotton candy swirl castigator here for you to nosh on. Whew. Awesome shit, y'all. Well, you know, since we're done with the model, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and call stream here. So let me just say one more time, y'all, thank you so much for joining me here on stream tonight. I really hope y'all enjoyed this project. The next step in our Sisters Army project is going to be painting some Celestian Sacrosanct, and then after that, it's time for non-metallic metal Celestine finally. So we're very close. That, you know, the Celestian Sacrosancts are just a 5-woman unit, so they shouldn't take too long at all. And I've got some fun new toys to introduce us to that I think are going to also just help speed up the process tremendously. So look forward to those. Their name rhymes with bead baiting boo boink bow. So there you go. So look forward to that. Let me just say one more time, y'all. Thank you so much once again for joining me here on Chimera Games. If you're brand new here, don't forget to please subscribe, as it would really help out my channel. Let me shout out one more time the 3 new subscribers that I can see, which are SpaceX Fan 37, Corvus Seraph, and Forever Soccer 32. If you're watching live right now, or if you happen to be watching this after the fact, thank you so much for subscribing, y'all. Thank y'all so much for the compliments and the dubs in the chat. Really appreciate y'all's support. Once you subscribe, don't forget to also hit the like button too, y'all, if you like what you saw here on stream tonight. Of course, it always goes a long way in helping out the channel. Don't forget to also hit the notification bell. That way you know exactly when I go live, which is going to be every week on Fridays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't forget to also check out my socials too, y'all. All my socials are linked down in the description box below. My Twitter, my Instagram, and my TikTok. We have a lot of fun over there on those. So yeah, thank y'all so much once again for tuning in, and have a good rest of your night. Peace!